Motorsport 411 presents
all the four- and two-wheeled action.
Motorsport 411 with Sean Cardovillis.
Welcome to Motorsport 411, your home for all your four- and two-wheel action in Africa. Coming up in this episode, we recap the final round of the Kenya National Rally Championship, the Guru Nanak Rally. We get reactions from the new Kenya National Rally champion Karan Patel, along with Jasmeet Chana. And we also find out about the electronic timing system as we speak to Harry Sagoo.
All the four- and two-wheeled action. Motorsport 411.
Welcome to the show. So Karan Patel and Tausif Khan have clinched the 2022 Kenya National Rally title after winning the Guru Nanak Rally. The duo won all the stages, finishing ahead of Baldev Chaga and Gareth Dorr, with Anthony Nielsen and William Bass rounding off the podium. In total, 8 drivers finished the event out of the 12 that started. Jasmeet and Ravi Chana were also in the running for the Kenya National Rally Championship until their car developed mechanical problems. After the event, I spoke to Jasmeet Chana. Jasmeet, thank you very much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411. I guess it's a case of so near yet so far. How was today for you?
Well, the morning loop was going well. We were only a few seconds behind Anthony, and we knew the second time round we would catch up with him. But unfortunately, into the second loop, the first stage, about 2 kilometers in, we lost boost. So we decided to stop and fix. We did. Tried recovering the time. Going into the second last stage, the bottom pipe for the turbo came off. So that one we decided to drive through with no boost, and got to the power stage, and that's where we fixed our turbo pipes. And even if you look at our stage times from there on, were quicker than most of everyone else besides Karan. Not a bad day. That's rallying. You take it with a pinch of salt and try and get better.
It is one of those days. Your car is normally so reliable, and you're one of the cleanest drivers in the Kenya National Rally Championship. It just chose the wrong time to fail the car.
Like I've told myself, maybe the gods had a different idea. Maybe if that turbo pipe had not come out, something worse would have happened. I take it as a blessing in disguise. I thank him again, and we move forward.
It was always going to be tough. Karan's in a Rally 2 car, you're in a Group N car. It's almost like you're fighting two different battles.
Yes, we had not come with the intentions of leading. Our aim was to finish second, right behind Karan, which we were doing. Unfortunately, things didn't go our way, but we thank God for all that He's given us.
That's the runner-up in the Kenya National Rally Championship, Jasmeet Chana. Now, as we mentioned, Karan Patel and Tausif Khan are the winners of the Kenya National Rally Championship. I spoke to Karan Patel shortly after the event. Karan, thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411. Congratulations, 2022 Kenya National Rally Champion. First of all, how are you feeling about the achievement?
It's definitely something to cherish and remember for the rest of my life, and I'm sure that goes for the same with the rest of the team. We've worked a lot, very hard from the very start in 2014 when we first started racing. We've learned a lot, we've come a long way, and we've got our first championship today, so it's great.
Dominant performance, taking all the stages, including the power stage today. You really set out to do what you wanted to do in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. It's been good. 8 out of 8 stage wins, plus the power stage. Yeah, we were definitely looking to win the event, and we had to win outright anyway if we were to have any chance of winning the championship. So there was no two ways about it.
How much pressure were you and your navigator Tausif feeling in the morning?
Pressure is not something we feel. As a driver, I don't know about him, maybe him, but for me, it's the pressure can be there, but it's it's something I don't let affect my driving, let's say.
At the Coast Rally, when you retired, of course, now it looked like the tide had turned towards Jasmeet. From your point of view, how disappointed were you with what happened at the Coast?
Yeah, definitely. It was not a good thing, but it was a bit tricky because all our crew were heading back from Zambia from the ARC, so we had no one there in coast for the car. Maybe that's just a lot of key issues played a role in it not working out in our favor. But yeah, it was quite disappointing at the moment in time it happened. But nevertheless, we still won the championship, so everything happened for the better.
Of course, you had a gearbox problem, and trying to get a gearbox for the Evo 10, it meant that you had to go back to the Ford.
Yeah, for sure. The gearbox was totally messed up in Bamba, so getting a new one is obviously something expensive. So we decided against it. We have another car, so I spend a few million bob to get a gearbox. So for now that the car is on hold, it's not in a state for competition, but so the easiest option was to get the Ford ready, and we done that. So regardless of whether we had the Ford here or not, and I'm sure if we had the Evo still, there would have been a similar result, but you'll never know. We'll never know.
Karan, probably the turning point initially when you got the Ford, you were having teething problems with it, a lot of mechanical issues, there were retirements, but as soon as you got Rob on board here, it seems to have turned around for you.
I wouldn't say exactly that. Even when I first got the car, a lot of our issues were down to maybe erroneous driving. First rally broke a drive shaft. Second rally, I think it was overheating because we hit a mud hole. So no, because that's a bit disrespectful to the rest of the team. But Rob is a very critical part of the team now. Is when it comes to him knowing my driving style, him setting up the car, and he's a key member of the team, just like the rest. Everyone has their roles to play. When the cars go back, it's everyone working on the cars, not just Rob. But yeah, it's made a difference to the team, but that doesn't mean the rest of the team is not doing a good job.
Just tell us about your parents. They're at every event, really pushing you on. There's also your brother who's rallying as well, Kush. Just a word about them.
Yeah, I mean, without them we wouldn't be here. Without them we wouldn't have Red Bull on board. I wouldn't have had the chance to show my skills in a car behind the wheel. But yeah, it's rallying was the second motorsports I took part in. First was racing bikes, and it's something my dad has always invested in. Both my mom and my dad investing their time, their money, and a lot of other things. From racing bikes, having me fall down, go to hospital. It's been a long journey, and hopefully this is the start of now many more championships won, and hopefully we can bag the Africa Rally Championship also one day. But time will tell.
Karan, turning point, a huge year for you signing for Red Bull. This result now will be such a positive for them as well. How big do you think 2023 can be for you?
Time will tell again. It's we're looking to try and do all races, all rallies. That includes ARC and KNRC and a few European races. So budget pending. Hopefully, being the new champion now, we can have some interested parties willing to sponsor our ventures next year, and so we will wait and see what the outcome is on that front, and then from there we'll decide, because obviously we also have businesses to run, and the sport here is a bit on the opposite side of making money. So hopefully sponsors see the advantage of having their cars, having the rally cars branded in their brands. Hopefully there's more and more interest in the sports, rallycross and autocross also. So yeah, we'll see, and hopefully we can continue racing.
Just finally, a word about Jasmeet, pushing you all the way.
Yeah, it's been a good race between the two of us. Congratulations to him for the second place. I'm sure he wanted the win just the way we did. So, just for him to know not to give up. There's always another year, and for us, we hope to be there next year also fighting for the same championship. So, yeah, let's see.
That's the winner of the Guru Nanak Rally and the Kenya National Rally Championship, Karan Patel. We'll be back.
All the 4 and 2-wheeled action.
Motorsport 411.
So welcome back. Now the electronic timing system has become an essential element of the Kenya National Rally Championship. The equipment is also being used in other forms of motorsport, not only in Kenya but in other parts of the world. I got to speak to the man in charge of the timing system, Harry Sagoo. Harry, thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411. First of all, you're pretty much now involved full-time with the timing system. So just tell us what your relationship is with the company.
Thank you very much, Sean. I work with a company called RBI Sports that's based in Bulgaria. It's a joint venture between Results BG, Geotrack and Gladiator. And we do timing and tracking for most of the rallies around. The system was introduced into Kenya in 2017 when we had the Top Fry Classic. And since then, we've never looked back. I mean, it's been a whole game changer in the industry. And the thing is, our results are so fast and they're so precise. Competitors are so happy with everything that we do. There's definitely no argument with that.
Since it's come in, initially they were running it from Europe. Now pretty much you can run everything here.
Yeah. For the first 2 years, they ran it through remotely from Europe. But after that, and after trainings and getting experienced, I was given all the admin rights, and now I run the system solely for all of Africa, actually. So for most of the events around in Africa, I can run even up to 3 events all together in one day.
Amazing. Just tell us how it's changed the face of local rallying.
This has become really, really necessary, because you find a lot of the competitors even before an event, we get calls from competitors asking, are you guys doing timing and tracking? And if you say no, and they get really disappointed, because it means no live link for timing, no live link for your results. So it puts people out, kind of, because our results are exact. Basically, the moment a car finishes a stage, within like 2 minutes you have the results. And most of the times navigators want to check how they've done on a stage. Do they need to go faster? Do they need to tone it down in between stages? On the other hand, public wants to see what is going on. And with this system, it's also interactive for all people out there, because we set out links for timing and tracking. And you're free to watch your favorite person, how he's going, how he's doing. And it even gives you the speeds they've been clocking on the stages, which is the adrenaline most people want.
How did you get involved with this?
I was the chief controller when the first event that these guys did, and I was quick to take a leap into the whole thing and get trained on the basics, how it was. And they realized, we have a niche for this, because at that point, the Top Fry was the only one that used the system, and there had been so many complaints on the national grid that there have been, instances of results that were very questionable. And after that, the following year, a few of the clubs came on and said, let's try and use this. And our club, the Rift Valley Modern Sports Club, was one of the first ones. And after the results, people were astounded. The results were immediate. Normally, it would take up to maybe about 3-4 hours after an event, before results were released. Meaning an endless delay. Everyone's waiting around. They're getting jittery. They don't know who's won. Prize giving is getting delayed. But with this, immediately the last car is out of the stage. We start doing results. Provisional results are released. By the time the cars are back into the service park, we have final results. And immediately prize giving can start.
It really adds to the credibility of local motorsport to know that you've got this timing system. It eliminates any chance of cheating, even protests as well. Now we're seeing protests almost non-existent.
Yeah, exactly, because Sean, the whole timing system is based on GPS. What we have is we've got triple times that are picked. So we've got the controller who has the time. We have the tracking that gives us a time, and we've got tag devices that pick the time as well. So between these three, you cannot alter any of the results. You cannot. What happens is the system, once the car is out, the system compares the three times and actually uses kind of averages and gives you the time for the whole thing. And it's milliseconds. The difference is never more than a second. Never ever. And we've had instances where rallies have been won by milliseconds, and we do autocrosses as well. We've done hill climbs with the same system, and people are just totally amazed. About 3 weeks ago, I was in Arusha. We did the Guru Nanak Rally in Arusha, and from what I was told is a few of the competitors even refused to enter because they were like, these results cannot be tampered with, and most of them have been used to having results changed how they want. So they lost quite a few entries, but the few who came, they swore by the results. And they've told the organizers, if you're not using this timing in future, we are not coming for any of the events.
Can you you say you got the tracking on the cars as well. You can find out if somebody's doing a shortcut, for example?
Yes. We've got tracking on the cars, and as our upload is every second. So every 1 second you get a location of the car. Should he go off the track even by say 3 meters, we would know. If there's a shortcut, we would know. And the tracking is recorded. So what happens is at the end of the event, should any competitor feel that this guy has not done the right route, it's easy to pull out the tracking and show them that this is our route and this is the tracking that he went on. It gives us exact speeds at each point, at each second. So we are able to tell if a car, like we had an instance where we had on transport sections, we had competitors overspeeding. So we are able to pick that up as well and tell the organizers about it. It's up to them to decide about what they want to do with the information.
Now you've become an integral feature of the Kenya National Rally Championship. What's your relationship like with the Kenya Motorsports Federation?
I think we bond very well. Moira has always been a very good friend, and we've always worked very well together. Jim has been very, very supportive. He's even been asking, are you coming for the event? They all get really excited when we're there for the events because they know things will be done faster, we can get home faster and start the party. So honestly, I think they really love it when we are on board doing any of the events.
Just switching subjects, of course, you're the chairman of Rift Valley Motorsports Club. 2022 was a very difficult year for motorsport.
Yes, it has been, Sean. Yes, I am the chairman. It has been very difficult. Entries have been at the dismal low. Hopefully, the new move by KMSF to try to get, they've set up a task force, so we hope to try to get in more entries, and hopefully next year will change the face of rallying in Kenya. So we have newcomers, because that's what we want. The old people are now getting too much used to it. We're getting too used to the same names coming up and all that. We want new people. We want to see that the fight for the title between Chanas and Karan Patel. The fight was literal. It was down to what position each competitor would finish at. And that is what we want to see. That's the excitement people want to see.
Motorsport goes through cycles. We're presently now in a cycle where we're in transition at the moment. The likes of Baldev Chaga, Carl Tundo, you could say Ian Duncan, people like that now really sort of taking a sabbatical from the sport, and you're seeing new people coming in. But have you seen a cycle like this where the entries are so low, where motorsport is really struggling?
Not really, Sean. Actually, it's actually shocking, yes. Imagine what would happen if these big names dropped out and all of a sudden you've got only 5 people, in an event. It's really, really sad. I mean, I was looking back at the days when on a Guru Nanak Rally you had up to 80 entries. I mean, even for us as a timing and tracking team, it would be difficult to handle because, I mean, you have to put trackers in 80 cars. You're going to have 80 cars on the grid running all around. Everything is, I mean, but that's the thing people want. I mean, the chances of 1 out of 5 winning are much lower than 1 out of 80. So definitely, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you just brought up a very interesting point. From the tracking, how many is too many entries in terms of the equipment you have and everything else?
We have had entries in Europe that has had up to 460 entries. So we are able to run any number of entries as long as we're able to install tracking in all the cars. It doesn't matter how many entries. Results are on point because immediately a car is out, you have the results. So it doesn't really matter actually. Like I said, we can run 3-4 events, and now I have a complete system in Kenya that runs all of Africa. They've got a server in Germany that can run Europe. They've got a server in Bulgaria. We've now even been approached by the US for Baja racing. So I can only see the future very, very bright.
Looks like 2023 will be very, very busy for you. Apart from Kenya, which other countries are you involved presently?
We have done events in South Africa. We've done in Rwanda, in Tanzania now. We ran one of the biggest events in Tunisia. It's called the Phoenix Rally. And this year we had, I think, about 260 entries. It's more or less like a Paris-Dakar event run in the desert. But it's where we all headed. I mean, we've been trying to put up a good event like that somewhere in Kenya as well. We're looking towards maybe the north side of Kenya. Plans are still underway, but we hope it'll materialize soon.
Harry, thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411.
Thank you very much, Sean. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
That's Harry Sagoo, who's in charge of the electronic timing system. We'll be back.
50, stay left over max jump, 100, right 5 plus long, tightens 5 minus, okay, tightens 5 minus, okay, continues, 30, brow going, max left, 95, left 4 plus, very long, tightens, cut over crest, left 4 plus, very long, tightens, cut over crest.
Motorsports 411 with Sean Cardovillis.
So that's it for the show this week. Our thanks once again to Jasmeet Chana, Karan Patel and Harry Sagoo. Our thanks as always to Big City Studio. I'm Sean Cardovillis. See you next week.